Yeah. You feel it? You feel the intensity? You feel the pressure? You feel the bliss? You feeling the love? You feeling the divine? Okay. Duality is a real thing. This realm of duality is a trip. The other day, actually yesterday, my girl and I, we were sitting in front of the house and we were just in silence, just really loving our home and our surrounding, our environment that we live in, listening to the birds and the insects and little fireflies starting to rise over the surface there. And we were just in our own space having a moment. And, I was just really feeling like a divine spiritual connection happening with me. And I'm looking up at the sky and I see a plane, right, with the chemtrails. And I'm like, oh, of course, plane with chemtrails. And Shelly's like, oh, damn it. And then a couple minutes pass by, my mind goes away from the chemtrails and I'm just connecting to what I feel like I'm having is a spiritual healing. Like I felt like there was another energy vibration holding me in a container, removing negatives and blocks and helping me open up some more. And and I was just going through some thoughts, thinking about what kind of a warrior I am, because not everybody, it's and it's okay, it's no shame, but not everybody is capable of being tuned in and observing to all the happenings of the world, and understand how to keep living. For example, like, a lot of people these days say, oh, I don't watch the news, I don't listen to anything, I don't look up anything, I don't research anything, I don't want to know anything about anything because it really fucks with my anxiety, it messes with my moods, it messes with my perception of the world and of other people, and I just can't handle it. Like I've encountered lots of people, even I myself have gone through this over the years. So, I'm not excluded from this. This is something that we've all been collectively experiencing. The more we are coming to and realizing, the severity of the agenda and how real it's happening, especially post 2020, especially post pandemic, right? And with movies like The Sound of Freedom and Saving the Children coming out, a lot of people can't handle being aware of this stuff and still live a happy life or still feel good. And this is where the wisdom of the Shambhala warriors is important, because though in this reality, in this 3D plane, we live in duality, there is this bridge, and this is like, for example, going back to my partner and I sitting out front of our house, and the chemtrail. The next time I looked back up, I see, the chemtrail morphing and turning into clouds, right? And then I'm just staring into the sky and seeing how weird the sky looks, like as if there's a like, when it's really hot and you can see far away heat waves out there. It's almost like waves in the air moving through the clouds, pushing and forming. It was odd. And as I'm going through that, my mind is like going I'm Sun, Moon, Gemini, 8th house. This is how Scorpio is able to obtain the depth of wisdom and occult knowledge is because Gemini rules Scorpio's 8th house. Having that open gate curiosity of duality in the 8th house, the domain of what's hidden, what's in the occult, what's secret. So, of course, my mind is going back and forth of like, oh man, this world's so fucked up. Look at what they're doing. How do we stop this? I feel so hopeless, blah, blah, blah. To at the same time feeling this divine connection, like this spiritual connection, like literally feeling this, you know? And I'm feeling my heart just open, open, open. And as I'm feeling my heart open, then I get this vision, you know, I get this visual in front of me, I get this visual that lays out in front of me. And I see a rainbow, and then the 10 of cups forms over me. You know, the 10 of cups in the tarot. So then I'm like, okay, like I'm having a 10 of cups moment here, and my heart's so open. And even though there are all these like fucked up things happening, like it does not nullify the power of the divine, the power of spirit. And I am connected here in the center of all the chaos with an open heart, feeling the bliss. That's what I kept telling Shelly. I was like, I'm just feeling so much bliss right now. I feel so blissfully charged and connected with spirit. It's amazing. But at the same time, like, I'm also very aware of all the fucked up shit that's going on, and seeing the chemtrails and everything, and thinking about The Sound of Freedom and the children. Like, I haven't even seen that movie yet. I was trying to watch it, but, you know, like I said, we went out on a little vacation. Anyway, so as I'm like having this moment, and the 10 of cups comes to mind, right? A hummingbird out of nowhere. And we hadn't seen a hummingbird the entire time we were out there. I haven't seen a hummingbird in days, you know, weeks. I haven't seen a hummingbird. And this hummingbird just zips from the side, and then gets directly in front of me. And once it gets directly in front of me, the hummingbird flies straight ahead to where I've been staring at, you know? And I was like, yes, fuck yeah, Shelly, did you fucking see that? She's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I was like, no, you don't get it, because I've been sitting here having this fucking moment, you know, feeling spiritually blissed out, and feeling the connection of the divine, and feeling like I'm having some kind of healing being done to me, and also being hyper aware of the duality of this strange 3D plane. This hummingbird just came out of nowhere right when I was like getting the understanding of like, oh, the 10 of cups, and downloading the message of the 10 of cups. The hummingbird flew into the line of my heart center to where I've been projecting it out, and it flew into that wave and sent out like everything that I've been gathering here with my thoughts and my emotions, and blah blah blah. You know, she was like, that's fucking awesome. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's awesome. So, you know, right now Mercury is at 29 degrees Cancer, being opposed by Pluto in 29 degrees Capricorn. And the moon is in Aries right now. Soon the moon's going to be at 29 degrees Aries, forming this T-square, and very soon Mercury is going to move out of Cancer and into Leo. So, you know, I shared this little story of mine because this is kind of like the energy we're in right now. You know, the theme of the week, building up to the new moon and the official climax of the cardinal T-square with Pluto squaring the north and south nodes in Aries and Libra. What I'm getting at is this is a moment where we are unlocking, you know, psychic and spiritual capabilities that are further helping us through synchronicity, realizing how real our connection is, despite our awareness, our knowledge of information of what is taking place in the reality of this mundane physical world. So what I'm saying is, like, this is, for me at least, this is leveling our understanding of the story of the Shambhala warrior, which the Shambhala warriors, the bodhisattvas of the earth, we're here to transmute what is distorted, what is false. And the transmutation begins from our inner world, you know? And the Shambhala warriors are gifted with two weapons: the weapon of compassion, the weapon of empathy and love, being able to feel the depths of everything, the connection, to feel the bliss, to feel the sadness, so we can understand it so intimately as if it's us. So, because in order to heal and to correct what is distorted, we have to very intimately understand it and pluck it from the root. The second weapon is the ability to disassociate from that empathy, from that sensitivity. Because if we are all just constantly open and sensitive and feeling, what happens is we can become paralyzed. We can become paralyzed of like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to help. I'm so overwhelmed by the sadness, by the grief, by everything that's happening, you know? And in that, another thing that happens is we can get burned out by putting too much of ourselves in the line of service to others, because we can so intimately feel exactly what others are going through, you know? And so we are gifted with this other weapon of wisdom, and being able to balance that heart center, and with the wisdom and knowledge of understanding that we don't need to fully invest our entire life to saving one person or saving one thing or whatever, and understanding how the smallest acts have ripples that move far beyond our ability to comprehend and even see. You know, one simple act of doing something here changes the entire course of a whole collective of people, you know, and things. Anyways, I'm getting a little too philosophical with it, kind of just babbling on that. But my point is that, you know, this is a really interesting time right now, because there are indeed a lot of crazy fucked up shit happening in the world, right? But at the same time, the consciousness of humanity is expanding and ascending and purifying and realigning to the divine, to spirit, to God, to all these things. And so a week like this could be an interesting time of going back and forth, of being frustrated and angry and blissed out, and coming into more awareness of your gifts and your abilities, and finding out how to center yourself amidst the whole thing. And once Mercury goes into Leo here really soon, you know, it wants to, you know, and Leo, I mean, Mars has been in Leo, Venus is going to retrograde in Leo. So, you know, I feel like all this is happening because in the face of realizing and coming to the senses of the gravity of what's happening here on Earth right now, we have to remember that the prophecy of the Bodhisattva is that the Bodhisattvas save the consciousness of the world with singing and dancing. That's literally the prophecy. The Bodhisattvas rise from the earth, singing and dancing, celebrating that they get the responsibility to heal and transmute the world here. And so I feel like all this is a reminder of that, you know, we're here for a reason. And it's not to numb ourselves out and say, I can't look at that because then I just have a bad week. I can't watch the news because I just have a bad week, and I don't know how to deal with my anxiety, and I don't know how to deal with all that. Well, if you're struggling with that, no judgment. I understand. I've been there too. But we have to balance the act with being tuned into what's happening, but also developing our spiritual connection and ascending our knowing and our wisdom, to a place of certainty, of where we're operating from, and not be so weighted down when you hear of the news or when you hear of something going on. But this probably isn't for everybody, and I don't know if I'm even making sense. I was kind of struggling even getting the energy and the focus to sit down and make a video, but I'm just hanging out with my chickens here, and they're exploring the yard. They miss me. Come on, chickens. Come here, girlies. Anyways, that's it. Peace.